only our government, since we formed government last 4 years, with a strong hand, we stop all these terrorist activities. We stop all this, killing and other activities. Unfortunately, in the name of movement, now they started attacking people, attacking the minorities, attacking our party supporters, attacking law enforcement agencies. So law enforcement agencies, it is their duty to protect people, protect their property, protect.
But most of them were killed in police firing.
Well, if police is under attack, what they would do? Tell me. Have you seen the scenario, how they have been attacked and how they have been, brutally killed? So, what they can do? You cannot blame them.
But the main opposition and also Jamaat Islami both say the ongoing war crimes tribunal, it is nothing but a political vendetta. Most of the people are from the opposition parties, and you are trying to get a political mileage out of this tribunal.
Look, when I started trial of my father's killers, father of the nation was killed, assassinated, and they said the same thing. And now they are saying it. Who are these people? They committed crime during liberation war. They killed our people. They burned village after village, occupied army, raped our women. These are the people who handed over women to them. So they committed war crime. And it is not only our country. In this world, in many countries, there were war crime tribunal happened. They tried the war
But the way you are going about it, people are thinking that this could be a political vendetta. You are taking a political revenge against opposition parties.
Of course not. Well, if this opposition party thinks that they are part of the war crime, then we can't help it. But it is true. There are so many evidences. Those people who have been arrested and who are under trial, they are war criminal. But my question is, why our opposition has been trying to protect the war criminal? Why? This country was liberated. So many people sacrificed their life. It is a people's demand. They want that this war criminal should be tried. What happened in 1971, the genocide took place. So we have to try these war criminals. And the way this trial is going on, it is absolutely according to international standard and according to our law, country's law. And not only that, there's a provision for appeal. There are many tribunal, there were not this provision, you can't appeal, but here we keep this provision that if they are not satisfied, they can appeal to the higher court. That much we have given the opportunity. So how one can say that it is not up to the standard?
But this has clearly divided this nation, so many protests going on, people are getting killed, people are on the streets against this tribunal. This has really divided this nation, isn't it?
No, it is not, you can't say divided. A handful of people, a small group, they are against it, not the whole nation. Rather, people during our election, it was in our election manifesto, and people voted for us, and the result. So it is people's demand. Only few people, they may say so, but it is not the whole nation. Rather, our nation wants that once this trial is completed, at least people will live in a peaceful manner.
Let's move on to this other issue which has been dominating the headlines here. This is about this interim caretaker administration. The main opposition has clearly said they will not take part in the next election, parliamentary election, without any caretaker system of administration.
Well, now our opposition is saying that if you try to find out what she said in 2008, then you will see the totally different thing. The point is that we want free fair election. What is election? The people have their constitutional right. People have their democratic right. So they should get the opportunity to exercise their fundamental right, constitutional right. Through ballot, people should have chance to change the government. And election must be free, fair.
But they say that it will not be free or fair under the incumbent government.
Okay, but they have to prove it, because since we formed government, last 4 years, the Election Commission conducted 5,554 election, including the local election and 15 by-election, mayoral election. Many elections, the opposition's candidate won the election. If the election is not free and fair, then how could the candidate of opposition won the election? We believe in democracy. Now people voted for the candidate, whoever it is. The candidate, which party he belongs, it doesn't matter. We have to see that whether people could vote freely or fairly.
But they have made it very, very clear that they will not take part in the elections, whatever arguments you can give.
You just ask opposition that under our government, if the election is not free and fair, how could their candidate won the election? But the caretaker government, the moment they say the caretaker government, it always remind us the 2007 to 2008 situation.
But many civil society activists, media organizations, they feel Bangladesh is not yet ready for an election under an incumbent government, because there is a big trust deficit between the two main political parties.
Every country, there are main parties, mostly 2 parties or 3 parties, but there are many other parties. They contest the election. But the point is whether the election commission is strong enough or not. Our present election commission was constituted by our president. Before constituting this election commission, he discussed with each and every political party. Then he gathered all the suggestions, and according to that, even our opposition, main opposition, they also participated. They also placed their suggestion, and according to their opinion, he set up a search committee, and that search committee constituted this election commission. And election commission is totally free and fair, and we strengthen this election commission to conduct election freely and fairly. And my whole life I struggled for free fair election, because I have seen how election was manipulated, how election was rigged, how election violence took place during election time. But during our government time, nearly 6,000 elections, 5,554 elections took place. There was no violation.
Both the main political parties are not even talking about holding an election. How do you expect the main opposition to come and take part in the election without the main demand being accepted?
Listen, well, if they don't participate in the election, as a political party, they will lose.
But then this government will not have any credibility.
Well, people will participate.
Look at how she is talking.
People will participate.
If they don't take part, they will lose.
They will participate. If they don't participate in the election, they will lose their seat. There are many safe seats for them.
So you will go ahead with the election even if the opposition do not take part in the election?
Look, it is constitutional provision What else I can do? I have enough strength
They don't
in
come
the
to election, then
parliament.
how are you going
I
to run
can
the election?
bring any kind of change in the constitution, but I am not going to do it. But if you go through our history, in this country, only once there was transfer of power peacefully. From 96 to 2001, Awami League was in power. Only that time, election was, power was transferred peacefully. What happened during 2006 when BNP was in power? There was a category government, right? But the voter list, totally fraudulent voter list.
Fraudulent.
About 13 million, nearly 13 million false voters were included in the voter list. The election commission was, selected by that government, totally weak election commission. So, but category government was there, but they couldn't hold the election. The caretaker government failed to hold the election. And then it came the army-backed caretaker government. Usually caretaker government was for 3 months to hold election. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold election. So this time and again, many civil society people who become the member of the cabinet of caretaker government, they had to resign from their post, and after that, the caretaker government continued for 2 years. And what happened that time? This army-backed caretaker government, they put both of us in the jail, and then filed false cases against us.
Because
So
both
I
of you
don't know
were
why
not
our
civilized at that
official
time.
want the same situation again.
Now you're talking about the army. Both the leader of the opposition, she mentioned that army cannot sit idle at this situation. And you were talking about army should protect the constitution. So both leaders are calling for army's intervention.
No, we are not. I am not calling. Rather, I never support army-backed or army rule. Rather, I oppose army rule from my childhood. Since I found time,
Now, if both leaders are talking about army's role,
As because she said actually she can do it because her party was formed by a military dictator. Because her husband captured power, violating constitution. He captured power. He declared himself.
How many times
Even
you're going to keep
violating
talking
the
about the
army
dead
rules.
man? This man have been died for last 30 years.
No.
She keeps talking about the dead man for 30 years.
Is there any chance of another army-backed caretaker administration
Let
coming
me
up?
finish. As because her party was formed by a military dictator, so always perhaps she feels that army will come and put her into power. But in this country and at this present war,
Why didn't you talk about that army
it is not
in the
possible.
caretaker government? Put you into the power last time.
It won't be acceptable.
If the
to our
caretaker was
people.
bad, then how could you
We
come to the
always
power?
Protect people's fundamental right, and we will protect our constitutional right. So it is our constitution. This country will go through constitution. And about federal government, the High Court verdict is there. So she can,
But the same
demand.
verdict, also they said the country can go for caretaker administration for the next 2 terms. It suggested.
It's suggested, and not only that, it is the parliament should decide. So if parliament doesn't decide, then how you can adopt it? And why we should put this country in an uncertain condition? If our opposition believe in democracy, believe in constitutional procedure, they have to come to election, they have to participate in the election. If they believe in democracy, and if they believe that yes, they have mass support, they have people's support, if they feel that this government is failing, then they have every chance. And we can ensure our election commission is strong enough to hold free fair election, and their election will be free and fair, and people will vote. So
And how do
if
you
they
know it's going to be
participate,
fair?
they will have
How
a
you
good
are so
chance
sure?
to come back to power. Then why they are afraid? Why they are not coming to the election?
No, Bangladesh has been witnessing nearly 6% of economic growth for the last few years. Now, the outside world, the Western world, they're watching with concern what's happening in Bangladesh in the last 5 or 6 months. Things have changed dramatically. The investors are now hesitating to come in. The clothing industry is worried about what is happening in this country. So what are you going to tell the outside world about what's happening in Bangladesh?
Look,
Don't
our
come.
economic activities, it will not stop. It will continue, and it will continue. No, and it is continuing. So it will continue. Don't worry about it. We know how to tackle this
How
situation.
to tackle this? Yeah.
This is nothing new.
But the exporters, they are not able to send their goods on time. And then some economists say the country is losing billions of dollars. But the two main political parties, there is no sign of them
Well,
reaching any solution.
No, look, for exporters, for exports, for sending their goods, we have taken steps, the alternative arrangement.
We're going to send a boat.
All their goods timely.
We're going to send the products by boat
there will be no
to
problem.
reach America.
We can ensure that we are doing it. And economics activities, it is also going well, and it will continue.
It will
That
continue.
I can assure you.
I can assure you.
That much, arrangement we can make, that much control we have over the country. And our economic activities, it is not only the Dhaka city, it is not only based on Dhaka city. We have, big country, so it will continue.
It's a big
Don't
country.
worry
Largest
about
country in the world.
it. Yes, maybe there is
When
a
you're running
propaganda
Hotel Chirang is
from
sweeping
the
the...
opposition, that's why people sometimes become shaky. But I am very much confident.
Soon after one of the verdicts by the special tribunal, hundreds of youngsters, bloggers and online activists started protesting in the center of Dhaka in a place called Shahbag. And now the protest went on for weeks, demanding the death penalty. Now the same Shahbag protesters, they feel let down by you, by your government, because you are arresting the bloggers, you are curtailing freedom of speech.
Now you can see the bloggers, I told you that, you see, yes, the freedom of speech is there, but you cannot hurt anybody's inner sentiment, religion sentiment, or you cannot write anything against any religion leader or anybody. If you do it, then you have to face the consequences. So we set up a committee, look into it. If they found anybody guilty, they immediately arrest and they look into it. So we cannot do anything. And now, yes, they are demanding, well, this is a free country. We have freedom of speech, and that's why they can hold rally, they can demand. So you can't say that there is no freedom of speech.
No, your own
There is no
coalition
freedom.
partners, the Labour partners, some of the leftist parties have criticized you for the arrest of online activists.
It proved that I always believe in freedom of speech, freedom of expression, that we ensure.
Freedom of
It
expression.
proved that. Now, I have to run this country, right? I have to, work for people. So everybody is free in this country. All media enjoy freedom. They can say anything. But I know what to do, how to go forward. I know that. So we are doing it according to rule. We will move
According to
forward.
what I know. Yeah.
They can demand. Now this one party demanding something, other party demanding something.
Doesn't mean you have to
So it
fulfill.
is their fundamental right, they are doing it. And I have to act according to our law, our constitution. And this country is a secular democracy.
Secular democracy.
No one has any right to, hurt anybody's religion sentiment. We have to protect each and every religion.
Are you confident that you will complete 5-year term?
Of course. Why not? How many months remain?
Do you think Bangladeshi government now is equipped to face this political crisis?
Of course, my government is.
Is there any chance of you reaching out to the main opposition for talks?
Well, my door is open, and already we place, we offer them. When offer goes from our side, they reject.
Well, they say that the government is not making a meaningful offer.
Well, what will be meaningful, I don't know. Then they should spell out how it will be meaningful. They haven't spelled out that how it will be meaningful.
Don't you think for the outside world, it will look strange? The court is asking the two main leaders of the country, why don't you sit and talk?
It is really strange, even to me also. It is not the matter of court. It is not the matter of court, but somebody went there. What court can do? They will give order. How they can?
How they can?
So it is very ridiculous thing, that's true. But the case is pending in the court. I can't make much comment because it will be sub judice, that's why. But when it will be over, then we can make our comment. I will do that.
Please do this.